In the huge, bright, and always moving city of Port Harcourt, people worked hard, but some people played even harder. Amarachi was a young woman in her early 20s, and she spent all her time watching the big girls. These successful ladies moved through the streets with a special, eye-catching bounce. They had figures, what people called the Big Bonbo look, BBL, and they knew how to use it. When these big girls walked out of a club, they were always entering the finest, darkest luxury cars. Big men who owned big companies, were always happy to carry them. They looked graceful, successful, and rich. Amarachi looked at the shape of these women and felt a burning hunger. Her own body was good, but it was just natural. She decided she wouldn't just join the successful girls, she would beat them. She wanted to be the biggest, the hottest, and the one that every man would choose. Amarachi had no patience for making money slowly. She wanted the life of luxury right now. She made a huge mistake. She sold her mother's small piece of land. It was everything her family owned outside the city. She took all the money, flew far away, and had a dangerous operation to change her body. When Amarachi finally came back to the Garden City, the whole town was shocked. She was totally changed. Her body was now an impossible curve, a huge figure that seemed to come out of a dream. Her bonbo was massive, much bigger than the shapes of the other big girls. She looked ready for battle. She wore thick, perfect makeup and had the most dramatic, heavy big eyelashes that looked like dark fans around her eyes. She named herself Queen A, the most wanted woman in Port Harcourt. The elders might have warned her, the antelope that runs alone may be fast, but the one that follows the path of greed will meet the hunter quickly. Queen A's body was a magnet. Her figure was so extreme that it drew all the light. At the clubs, the other ladies were ignored. The men would instantly leave their current dates, their eyes fixed on Queen A. They would say, "The rooster might be proud in his own yard, but when the eagle lands, the rooster goes quiet." Amarachi lived for this attention. She walked onto the dance floor not to dance, but to showcase. She would begin to slowly whine her waist in a hypnotic, rhythmic way that showed off her massive figure from every angle. It was a performance that demanded money be thrown at her feet like rain. She was the one who was widening her waist round the city. She was cruel in her success, looking down on her old, simple friends. She bought a rich apartment and filled it with expensive items. One day, her wise mother came from the village to visit. The mother looked at her daughter's huge, artificial shape. "Amarachi, my child," her mother said, her voice filled with worry, "you have put a roof of gold on your house, but the floor is made of water. Be careful. It is the house that is too beautiful that the witch looks at first." Amarachi only laughed, touching one of her big eyelashes. "Mama, please, go and enjoy your pot of soup. I am fine. This water floor is paying my rent. I will take care of myself." Amarachi's great reign started to show cracks. Her luck was fading. First, the pain started. When she began her famous waist-whining at the club, the very dance that made her famous, a quick, sharp fire would shoot up her back. The pain grew worse the more she showcased her figure. She took painkillers and tried to forget it. Then, the rumors started. Envy in the city is a fast sickness. "Have you really looked at Queen A now?" a market woman would whisper. "The shape, it is not sitting right these days." Another would reply with a wicked laugh, "Yes, it is too much now, like she is carrying a load of cement." Amarachi tried to fight the rumors with more expensive clothes and thicker makeup, but the pain became constant. The operation that made her queen now felt like a curse. The deep ache was like an angry drum beating inside her back. The final disaster happened on a busy Saturday night. Queen A was dancing in the VIP section, beginning her famous showcase. But as she moved, a sudden burning pain tore through her back. Her legs failed her. She fell hard, crashing into a table. The music stopped. The sudden silence was cold and terrifying. Amarachi ran out, her face full of fear. The physical problem could no longer be hidden. The huge, perfect curve began to look lumpy and strangely uneven. The city, which had praised her, now gathered to mock her. Wearing a big, shapeless dress, Amarachi risked going outside for medicine. As she walked, a group of young men saw her. One shouted, pointing, "Look at Queen A! Her temple has collapsed." A market woman called out with a mockingly sad voice, "Ah, see how beauty goes wrong." She forgot that the borrowed garment never lasts long on the body. Amarachi ran home, crushed by shame and crying. She understood the terrible truth. The beautiful body she had bought with so much sacrifice, the spectacular figure that had made her a queen, was now tragically ruined. The transformation, which had promised eternal fame, had tragically become the visual centerpiece of her shame. The very thing that had made her rich was now the undeniable public cause of her utter downfall. They whispered it in the crowded market, they laughed it in the shadows of the dark clubs, giving her a cruel new title, the Leaning Tower. Her monument to vanity had become a public spectacle of mockery, a structure built on a poor foundation, known by a name that symbolized her spectacular, inevitable tilt toward ruin. She learned, with the searing pain of absolute truth, that the cheap material of her self-worth could not withstand the natural storm of life. The lesson was sharp and unforgiving. If you build your crown out of cheap, foreign material, it will inevitably dissolve and flow away in the first honest rain. Humiliated, physically broken, and emotionally devastated, Amarachi finally made the long, sorrowful journey back to her mother's quiet, unchanging compound. It was the only welcoming space left in the entire world. Her mother, whose love was vast and enduring, met her not with judgment, not with the painful sting of "I told you so," but with a silent, healing embrace. "My child," her mother said softly, holding her close, "you did not fail because you were not enough. You chased the flashing light of wealth and fame by abandoning the quiet strength of your true self. You sought to gain the whole world, but in the process, you lost the one thing you needed most, your home within yourself. The final profound lesson is this, my daughter. The goat that chases two markets at once will stumble and return home with a heavy burden of nothing." Slowly, painfully, Amarachi began the true work, not of buying, but of rebuilding her spirit. She found an honest, simple job selling small provisions in the quiet neighborhood. She no longer drove a luxury car, but she found the courage to walk with her head high, the dignity of simple labor replacing the arrogance of consumption. The heavy, false eyelashes were gone. The expensive, tight garments were gone. She was no longer defined by the money her spectacular figure once commanded, but by the quiet, lasting peace she finally discovered within the depths of her own authentic skin. The tale of Queen A became a quiet lesson whispered in the city, passed down in homes and market stalls, reminding everyone that a true crown is grown from character, not bought with cash. That is the end of our story, and the final wisdom from the Garden City. If you loved this story and want to hear more folk tales that teach powerful lessons about life, please be sure to subscribe and join our family. Hit that button so you never miss the next chapter of wisdom we share. We'd love to have you. Which of the Mother's parables do you think is the most important lesson for listeners today?